everyone, it's Louise here again. Today we're going to be making some cherry and almond cookies. Okay, so let's start. So first of all, we need 115 grams of butter. You can use margarine in this recipe, but I personally prefer the taste of butter in these cookies. So that all goes into the pan. And then along with that, we just want 1 tablespoon of golden syrup. Okay, so just about a level tablespoon, okay, and pop that in and just tease the last little bit out. Okay, and what we're going to do with this then is we're just going to melt it just over a gentle heat, which will just take about 2 to 3 minutes. So while the butter and the syrup is melting, I'm going to weigh out my dry ingredients. So first of all, I've got 170 grams of self-raising flour, so we'll just pop that in the bowl. Then we've got some just normal granulated sugar, and we've got 70 grams of that. We'll pop that in. And just to help the biscuits just rise a little bit and make them a little bit lighter, we're going to just add half a teaspoon of, just a level teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda. So in that goes. Okay, so that's the dry ingredients in the bowl. We're going to add some cherries, just some Glace cherries. The ones I like to use are Glace morello cherries. You don't see these everywhere, but these particular ones I got from Tesco's, and I think they give this a really nice flavour. So we're going to take about 8 to 10 cherries, just pop them out, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, we'll have 10. And I'm just going to chop them into quarters. So I've chopped the cherries up. What I'm going to do first is I'm just going to give the dry ingredients just a little mix up in the bowl, like that. And then I'm going to add the cherries, just pop them all in. And what I just need to make sure with these is that you just give them a good mix, get your hands in there just to make sure that they're all sort of broken up, and just evenly distribute them through the dry ingredients. That just means when you get to put your biscuits together that you'll have a bit of cherry in each of them. Okay, and we'll go and see if the butter and the syrup is melted. Okay, so my mixture is now melted, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some flavouring to that. So I've just got some almond extract, and we're just going to pop half a teaspoon of the almond extract into the syrup and the butter mixture. It's quite strong as the almond extract, so we don't want to put too much into it. And then we're just going to give that a little mix up. Now, if I was to just pour this in here now, what would happen is the mixture would just be a little bit too hot to form the biscuits. So what I'm going to do is just for about 5 minutes, I'm just going to let this mixture cool down a little bit, and then we're going to add it into the dry mixture to make our biscuits. Right, so before I make my biscuits, I'm just going to prepare my baking tray. So I'm just going to spray a little bit of sunflower oil just on there and just give a little wipe, and that just means that when you come to take your biscuits off the tray, it'll be a lot easier. Right, so my butter and syrup mixture's had a few minutes to cool, and what I'm going to do is just add it now to the dry ingredients. Now, I'm not going to add it all at once, I'm just going to add probably about 2/3 of it, because if I add too much, what will happen is it might be a little bit too runny, and the biscuits will then just go flat in the oven and they won't form properly. So I'm just going to mix that up. If you want to have a little look at that mixture as it is right now. Okay, so the mixture's a little bit dry still, so I'm going to add a little bit more of that. Ideally you want to add all of it, and then you get nice moist biscuits, but there's just sometimes it takes it all and sometimes it doesn't. I don't know really why, it just depends on it. And again, that will take a little bit more mixture. Tiny bit left in there, which I'll probably leave. And so we're just going to mix it up so we've got a nice consistency, and it's just coming together by itself. So when you're happy with your mixture and you've not got any flour at all visible, it's time to make your biscuits. So if you just try and make sure that you get some cherry in each of the bowls that you make, and you're aiming to do like a small golf ball, so just in a little bowl. You don't need to handle the mixture too much, you don't need to be too rough with it, just very gently make it into balls like that. My mixture today has made 9 biscuits. Sometimes it makes 9 or 10, it depends how big you want them, but they will spread and they will rise a little bit, so it's important that you spread them out on your tray so they're not too close to each other. Now before I put them in the oven, what I'm just going to do is just with my fingers, just give them a little press down just to help them form into little biscuits. And what also happens here is you get little cracks which makes them look really realistic. Okay, and then they're ready for the oven. Now I like to bake them at 160 fan oven or gas mark 3, and usually I check them after about 6 or 7 minutes. They'll take probably somewhere between 7 and 10 minutes, so I'll pop them in and check them after about 6 or 7 minutes and we'll see how they are. Okay, so here's my biscuits. Now I checked them after 6 minutes and they were nowhere near ready actually this time. So what I did, I just turned the tray around in the oven so that they were all evenly browned, and then I left them for another couple of minutes, and I just thought they needed a bit longer just so they get a nice little golden colour. So these biscuits have actually had 9 minutes to cook. Now what it's important to do now is just leave them on the tray. If I just show you, if I try to lift them off now, they're still quite soft, so they need to harden up on the tray and cool a bit, about 5 to 10 minutes, and then we can just transfer them to cool properly onto the cooling rack. So our biscuits have now cooled, and we're just going to try and get them off the tray. So they're slightly soft still, so just pop a knife under them and then just gently transfer them onto the cooling rack. So over we go like that, over we go, that's it. Turn our tray around. Oh, you can smell the almond in these. And as you can see here, we've got some nice chunks of cherry in there. So what we're going to do is just leave those now just to cool, probably for another 10 or 15 minutes, and then we can pop them on a tray, or if you really want to, you can have one to eat now with a cup of tea. That would be lovely. Okay, so here's my biscuits all plated up, ready to eat. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, or if you want to subscribe, that would be great. I will put a list of all the ingredients in the description below. So thanks for watching once again, and I'll see you next time. Bye.